Hey everybody, it's Whiskey Wednesday. I'm Connie from The Painted Photographer. How are you all doing today? I'm here. I am going to make a popcorn tin. Does anybody have these at their thrift store? It comes with a lid. Like that. Sea salt splash. Mine at my thrift store are 38 cents. This is kind of funny. So there was a whole box of them, exact same size, all of the Terry Redlin. And some of them were 48 cents, and some of them were 38 cents. I didn't buy the 48-cent ones. I'm like, if they can't all be 38 cents, then I don't want them. So, tell me, do you have popcorn tins at your thrift store? And do they just give them away for 38 cents? 38 cents. And I wouldn't pay 48 cents.
Maybe loves Sophia there.
Hey Treasure, that's Treasure. Hey Treasure, welcome, welcome. We're going to, this is inspired from the bins where you were at with me, Treasure. So, during Sonnet's retreat, we had an opportunity to go to the bins, the Goodwill bins. Has anybody ever been there? It was an experience. I'd probably do it again. I know I'd do it again. I'd have no problem doing it again. Like even tomorrow. But it was an experience. And I didn't really get into it right away. And Treasure says they were amazing. I don't know if they were amazing, but they were something. Hey Sandra. So during the Goodwill bins shopping frenzy, let's just call it a frenzy, there were people that I was with, and then there was a bunch of other people, and they all go around in these bins and they just dig in these bins. And I was a little standoffish at first, like I didn't really dig in these bins, but then I started to see what everybody else was getting. Then I was jealous. Cindy says I thought they were amazing too. I don't know that I'd call them amazing. Let's DIY that and see if they're amazing. There's Wilson, not Wilson. No, that's Wilson right there. There is Judy with a little DIY inspiration.
Thanks, Judy.
Oh, Judy's telling you DIY?
Me and you.
Oh, me and you. DIY, everybody.
And Bobby says glad you got to meet my friend Pam, DIY.
Yes, Bobby, your friend Pam, she was like right on the end. I would chat with her all the time. She's really, really good. She's very good at what she does. Just ask her. I told her that many times. Anyway, back to my story, guys.
Made with Love says you haven't thrifted in my area.
Yeah, I haven't thrifted in your area. Do you get popcorn tins for 38 cents?
Cindy DIY'd you.
DIY.
Judy says we love Pam.
Pam was really, really nice. Everyone was so nice. It was a really good experience. I want to go back. I want to do it again. I loved it. So
Bobby says we don't get anything for
48 cents? Would you have paid 48 cents for them? So anyway, there was a whole box full of these, and I just bought 2 of them because I wanted to try it first. I don't know what it's, oh, geez, I got balloons happening. Did you see that, Wilson?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. I don't know why.
Those balloons must be for my daughter's birthday. It's my daughter's birthday today. Our daughter's birthday. Me and him. She turned 39 today. Does Eau Claire have bins? Seriously?
She wants to know, does Eau Claire have bins?
I don't know.
She didn't say they did. She's asking.
That's what I said. I said that.
No,
And
no, you sound like they do. You're excited. They have bins?
they have bins? Well, she had a question mark and I had a question mark. So it wasn't just this, it wasn't the same kind of question mark. Okay, let's go. I painted this tin white with spray paint. Okay? The balloons were cool. I don't know why that happened. For Shannon's birthday, our daughter Shannon, her birthday is today and she's 39 years old. 39.
She's happy you're telling everybody that.
Yeah, I'm sure she's just really, really pleased with her mommy right now.
Not only did she paint the tin white, my grass is white too.
Yeah, I painted the grass white too. I wear gloves when I go to the bins. Yeah, I didn't. I can see why you would. I didn't dig much though, but a lot of other people did. And there were people wearing gloves there, and everybody just washed their hands when they got done. So.
Sandra I meant if we met there to thrift together.
Oh, you know what, Sandra? We can just go to Eau Claire anyway. We can find something to do in Eau Claire. I'm sure there's some type of thrift store, but I don't think they have bins. I really don't know where the closest one is, but we can research that. Anyway, painted it white. I spray painted it white because I thought if I used DIY paint, then I might scratch off some paint.
Lisa Levine, I want to go back to the retreat.
Lisa, you want to go back to the retreat? Me too. Like, it's been a week since we've been there. I'm kind of having withdrawals. All right.
Carol says, hi Connie and Wilson, DIY.
Hey, Carol. Nice to see you, Carol.
DIY, she said.
Oh, she said DIY? Come on, guys. I got a project to do. Do you know what question I got asked all the time? Someone else is having Amanda.
Lisa.
Amanda says DIY, y'all.
Oh.
DIY, Amanda.
Judy. I'll come next year. Wilson goes.
Wilson will go.
Will?
If you and Bobby are going, oh yeah, Wilson will come.
Really?
Okay. So anyway, at the bins, Sandra, who is on here tonight, joking, picked up 3 hat boxes. They were stacking hat boxes, and they had vintage striped red paper and vintage floral paper with, I can't even recreate the grunge and the rust that was on them. Bobby, you really want to go? You really should have gone next year.
Barbara Olson says hi.
Hey, Barbara Olson.
Judy told Bobby to start saving money.
Yep, start saving your money. Bobby's got a package on her way, so she better start after that package gets there.
Oh yeah, that's right. I packaged it with care.
Yeah, Bobby, Wilson packaged your order. So my internet is crappy right now. All right, I think we're back.
Said they were so amazing.
They are. Sandra got the vintage hat boxes, and they were made with striped. They're not paper. They're actual. The hat boxes are actual real. But I said, you know what? We could do this. We could recreate them with Roycycled, and when I do my YouTube video, you'll see them Or Sandra, maybe you'll do a YouTube video and then you'll actually see them in person because she's the one who actually got them. But if we use Roycycled Paper, we can create those hat boxes and have the same thing. And now I'm getting a thumbs up.
Mary Drinker says, hey, hey.
Hey, Mary. Now, what did you buy? I bought a lot of stuff, but I bought a vintage art box. That was one of my favorite buys. I bought a vintage art box. Okay, let's move on with our project.
Really? They want to know about your week.
You're not going to get nothing
Yeah,
done.
I'm not going to get anything done. They want to know about the retreat. The retreat was so good, guys. Like, I can't even explain it. It was good. Happy DIY night. DIY.
Mary Henderson.
So the question I got asked the most often from everyone that met me there, do you really have whiskey in your cup? What do you think my answer was?
Mary Drinker Sprinkler Fuel.
Thank you, Mary. Okay, so Royce has a red ticking decoupage paper. I know I just used this not too long ago, but we're gonna make this popcorn tin look like that vintage hat box with using Roycycled Paper. And then there's the other one called vintage wallpaper that you could totally do the same thing with. Kelly's having a retreat tomorrow.
Judy says I'm headed to Kelly's retreat tomorrow.
Wow. I must not follow Kelly, or I'm not up far enough in my feed because I didn't know that. But I just got back from one, so I don't think Wilson will let me leave again. He's kind of keeping me here for a while. Okay, so we have this vintage ticking, red ticking, and we're gonna decoupage it onto this popcorn tin, and then we're going to paint a snowman on it, so don't go anywhere. We're painting a snowman. A vintage snowman. Because you could just leave them all by themselves. It starts on Friday. Sign me up. All right, so I'm going to mist that ticking just so it goes on a little bit easier. So I misted it. I don't think you can see that, but I think you're good. Then we're going to use the DIY's liquid patina. I'll grab that one in a minute. You normally don't have to stir it, but I wanted to make sure that it was all mixed up good.
Pam says, hi, Connie.
Hey, Pam. Welcome, welcome. We're making a vintage hat box. And when I post the picture of this, after it's all done, I will put the vintage hat box in the comments so you can actually see the true original vintage hat box. So there's a seam on this popcorn tin right here. So we're gonna start right there on the popcorn tin. And I'm going to lay this paper on there. Making sure I get it straight, because when you have stripes, you have to get them straight. Which you start out straight, you should be able to stay straight. Unless you have too much DIY, right? Okay. I'm gonna tuck this under. Just so I can make my starter strip. So I peel it back. If you haven't learned about a starter strip, Royce talks about a starter strip. I'm gonna stop my roll here. And I'm gonna go in with the liquid patina. and lay a nice coat of liquid patina onto this can. And then put that paper back on there. Oh, my paper moved. All right. There's a little ridge here, so I'm going to make sure that my paper gets inside that little ridge. Then I'm going to pick it up and lay it back over on itself. And when you decoupage, I think you can see this, when your brush is full of product, don't go right next to your paper. Go near your paper, and then when your brush gets most of that product off, then you can go right next to your paper. And why you want to do that is because it won't leave a line on your paper. Like if you get right next to your paper, it's going to leave a line on there. And then you're going to wonder where that line came from. We actually talked about Kelly at the retreat because someone was from Ohio at the retreat. Leanne from Small Gestures Vintage Crafts. And I asked her if she knew Bobby and Judy, and she said, Ohio is a big state. So that was a no. She didn't know Bobby and Judy. I'm like, what? Why don't you know them? So then I asked if she knew Kelly. Because I don't know, is Kelly from Ohio? Where's Kelly from? Tell me, Judy. Where's she from?
Made with Love is such a good idea. Sandra's half boxes were so good.
Sandra's hat boxes were amazing. Like, I don't know where I was when Sandra was finding those hat boxes. But
Sandra says treasures, I may actually keep them.
oh, you should! That'd be a shame if you didn't keep them. I'll come to your store and buy them if you put them in the store. Just let me know when they're there, Sandra.
Zanesville, Ohio.
Zanesville, Ohio. See? I thought it was somewhere there, and she said no, she didn't know Kelly. She did not know Kelly, so we talked about her. I said she was an amazing artist and she should follow her because maybe she's near her. I don't know where Leanne is from in Ohio to know if she's near Kelly or not.
Maybe we'll keep them for sure. Send them to me or Connie.
Yeah, Don't keep them. They're terrible. They're horrible. I don't know why anybody would want something that looks like that. Right, Treasure? But you know what, Treasure? We can make our own. I'm doing it right now. And especially with these and that vintage wallpaper, like, oh. If I had more time, I'd be doing a vintage wallpaper one too.
Bobby says, I hope she was a Buckeye fan. DIY.
Oh, I don't know.
Lori Henderson, Zanesville, home of Roseville and McCoy Pottery.
Oh.
Had family in the business.
Huh. All right.
Judy said she should. What's her business name?
Vintage. Now I just lost it. Vintage Gestures. Treasures and Crafts. I have her business card. All right, so I have, you can see I have extra that's hanging over the top. Instead of sanding it down, I'm just gonna go down inside the can. So I'm gonna put liquid patina down inside the can. This is the easiest project, and then, you know what? You don't have to paint a snowman on it. You can just put some greenery or put a tree in it. It's that time of year. Okay. And then we're just gonna flip these in here, just like this. You probably could have cut some of that off so you didn't waste so much, but and then I'm gonna go back and smooth down the inside of this, just so it stays in there. I'm not gonna do that on the outside because I'm gonna paint on it.
You got some on the outside here, you dribbled all across the bar.
Oh, well,
Messy Marvin tonight.
well, I don't care about that, listen. It's okay.
It's not paint, it just can't clean up.
You can.
Oh,
It's DIY products. Right, guys? All right, I went over the seam. Now, if you were gonna paint a snowman and you wanted to make sure that you could wipe off if you made a mistake, you probably would want to seal this. Drink up, Judy says. Did I say DIY?
you must be behind because she keeps track.
DIY. And there's actually
They
whiskey.
haven't seen you for a week, so.
Yeah, I was missing last week. There's actually whiskey in there. Week. It's in there. I had to go back to work this week and ugh. It's been a struggle. Okay. Look at that. Now, if you had some greenery or a tree, you could stick a tree in there. Right, a tree? Hang on. I do have a tree. Okay. So look at that. We're done. Look at that project. That's a popcorn tin. A Terry Redland popcorn tin. It now is a base for a tree.
Cindy says looks great.
Thank you, Cindy. Okay, we're gonna put a snowman on it. But I have to make sure that it's nice and dry. I'm gonna cover this liquid patina up. Oh, I think I said DIY when you said that you couldn't wipe it up. I think that's when I said it. Now that I think
says,
about
yes,
it.
you did. You're all keeping track of you tonight.
You keeping track of my drinking? Good. Somebody has to. All right. I'm gonna just dry this just a little bit because even though the liquid patina is only on the inside of the paper, it's still like I can still feel it, and I want it a little bit more dry. And then we're gonna paint a snowman on it. I have to get ready for Christmas at the store. And that means I gotta make a lot of products. And so this is one of my ideas is I did buy a couple of these as long as they were 38 cents. I did not buy them when they were 48 cents. 48 cents? Who are they kidding when the ones right next to them are 38 cents? . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I should have asked them why some are 48 cents and some are 38 cents.
Larry Henderson wants to know how to do that.
My back is really good. My back has been very good. During the retreat, I was really nervous because it was a lot of work and my back has not been good. But I didn't let it bother me. So then I thought when I got home I'd be paying for it. And I didn't. I did have a little bit of a backache when I got home, but nothing terrible. I think it was more the drive. Like sitting hurts me.
Bobby said it depends on who's marking the prices.
Yeah, Bobby, you would think it depends on who's marking the prices, but there was a whole box of them. Like they had to all come in together. Because there was a box and they were sitting all in the same spot and there was, I think there was like 8 or 10 of them.
Maybe one's a limited edition and that's worth more.
It's worth a dime more.
Yeah, see?
One thing I did notice, this one that I put the paper on, it had, when I painted it, I didn't know this until I painted it with a spray can. It had like a raised label on it. This one does not. This is all, there's no raised on here. But these were both 38 cents. This one is from 2017.
And you're gonna paint over it and it says Sunset Retreat.
I am gonna paint over it.
It says retreat on it.
You're right. It does say retreat. Where is my seam? Okay. Do you guys want to watch me paint this? Of course you do.
How come you got a ridge like you do here?
Listen, you are just picking apart my project tonight. It's sucked in there. It's not sucked in here yet.
That's what I get paid to do.
He thinks he's my administrative assistant. I told him I didn't need an administrative assistant. I don't need him to keep track of my DIYs. Lori. All right, I'm gonna move you closer. Hang on tight. And then I gotta pick you up a little bit. Because otherwise you'll be right on. Wilson, help me, administrative assistant. Pull this up. Thank you. A little bit more. Okay. All right.
Made with love, Connie. You have whiskey Wednesdays, and mine are wacky Wednesdays. We babysit all the grandkids on Wednesdays to give our kids a break. But I love you. But I love you so much. I have to have my ear with all the crazy around me.
Have the grandkids watch me. Hey grandkids, it's Whiskey Wednesday. Come on over, let's watch Connie. Okay, I'm gonna point you down. We gotta get painting, guys.
Oh, she has you in her ear.
She has an earbud in. She's listening to me. Okay, guys.
You're upside down.
I know. The seam is right here.
Can't
So
see your seam. Oh, wait a minute.
would you be quiet, Wilson?
Well, it's a little behind here. I want to make sure everybody can see what you're doing. Keep this up, I'm going to quit.
Oh, he's going to threaten to quit.
Somebody will hire me. I bet Judy or Bobby would.
Judy or Bobby would probably hire you as their administrative assistant.
I'll move to Ohio.
You know what? They have no idea what they're in for. Okay, I gotta get some liquid patina off my fingers. Okay, we're gonna put a vintage snowman on here. Okay, guys? A vintage snowman. Because I just can't have some ticking on here. Some red ticking. So I think my vintage snowman needs to have shadows of skeleton key, not highlights.
I got 2 people that hired me already.
Oh.
And a DIY.
And a DIY. You wouldn't get anything done if he was there working with you. He's a distractor. Okay, so we're gonna make a snowman. So he's gonna be kind of big. He's a vintage snowman because this is vintage paper. So I'm just making a big old circle on the bottom with a darker color. So this happens to be skeleton key. And you're gonna notice I got a little bit of a bubble here. Not to worry, don't worry about that at all, because when you add more water to your paper, it's going to bubble up, but as soon as it dries, it'll sink back down again. And then this vintage snowman is just gonna be a 2-ball snowman. So then I'm going to put his head right here.
Oh, you're using dirty snow.
It is dirty snow. He's vintage. Okay, so that's a 2-ball snowman. So circle, circle. Y'all can do that, right? DIY skeleton key. Okay, that is a shadow. Next, while that is still a little bit wet, I'm gonna go in with some beadboard. And this is gonna be like crazy for me, but my highlights are gonna be on this side. So I'm using an angled brush.
Judy said just the yellow snow.
No yellow snow. It's got blue tint to it. So I'm using the paintbrush and the wet paint to blend this snowman ball a little bit. And we're not done with him. Actually, I'm gonna make some snow on the bottom here. And then I'm gonna take it off that bottom ridge and wipe it right off, okay? And then going back in with the white again. If my highlight on the bottom is on this side, my highlight for this head is also on the same side. So that's dried a little bit more. And I'm gonna go in with the skeleton key and kind of add a shadow down here. He's going to be a vintage snowman. So he's not going to be the bright white cheery snowman that you're all thinking of. He's going to be more a vintage one. And then a little white for the grass, or the grass. There's no grass. For the snow that's under him. And I put the skeleton key down there so that there's a little bit of a contrast. And then I'm gonna wipe my brush with a baby wipe, okay?
Oh boy, I gotta catch up here.
Okay, 2 balls.
Anne says good evening.
Hey Anne, welcome, welcome.
Sheila says hi, Connie and Wilson.
Hi Sheila.
And Laurie Henderson, my 12-month-old granddaughter loves Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
So all I hear is, do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman? Our granddaughter, she will turn 6 tomorrow. No, 6 on Friday. And she loves Frozen. So the new IOD molds, if they like Frozen, the new IOD molds are like Frozen ones. All right, I'm going in with weathered wood, and his hat is going to be weathered wood and faded burlap. He's gonna have more of a vintagey hat and not a black top hat. So that is still drying. We're not done with the body of that snowman. I gotta wipe my brush a little bit. I want more weathered wood. And I want it right on the, it's still using an angled brush. I don't wash my angled brushes. And then I'm going to make his hat the brim of his hat I have to put my hand in your way. So there's the brim of his hat. Then, and it goes beyond his head. And then we're going to just make the top of his hat. I have to turn him around to make the other side. Okay, that is your, I'm so excited to start Christmas projects. I know, right? They are like, I'm ready. And I'm never ready this time of year, but I'm ready. Okay, now I'm going into faded burlap, and I'm gonna make that highlight. I have to concentrate because my highlights are always on my left side, but this highlight is gonna be on the right side. I thought I'd switch it up tonight, see if I can actually do it. So I'm going in with faded burlap and making the highlight of his hat over here. So he doesn't look flat. And then...
Bobby says, I'm so excited to start Christmas projects.
Yeah, we talked about...
Come on, don't rush it, Bobby.
No, they're so good. IOD really got everybody excited, I think.
Amanda says it's so cute already.
Thank you, Amanda. I'm gonna go back in with some just solid weathered wood and make sure that I have that side really dark, because how you can make things look round is one side shadowed, the other side light. So if you would have both sides dark, like now that I look in the camera, I can see that right here is a little on the dark side, so it's not looking really round. So let me fix this. Okay, so there it is. I'm gonna grab some more weathered wood. The other way is if I would make my brush strokes up and down, it wouldn't look round. So in order to make it look round, light on one side, dark on the other side, make your brush strokes go like this. Makes sense? And then I do need a little more weathered wood because I'm gonna go right here on this brim. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of white. Pulling that hat around the back side of his head. And I'm only putting paint on the corner of my brush, the corner of my angled brush, and I'm gonna swoop it around. So that it stays wrapped around his head. Okay, does he look vintage yet? Probably not. He's getting there. He's got a brown hat on. Brown leather hat. He does need a little bit more white. He needs to, his snow needs to be a little bit whiter. So I'm gonna go in, now that this has dried, I have a little bit of weathered wood in my brush, so it got right here. Still kind of makes him look more vintage. I'm staying away from the neck because that would be a shadow on his neck. And then I'm going to do his head, which if you want to do this before his hat, you certainly can. But I kind of like to stay away from his hat because that is also shadowed. And then I'm gonna have my Mr. bottle, and I'm just gonna wet my brush a little bit and blend that in. I'm gonna do that again and blend over here on this side. I think it's been a while since anyone asked me what paint I'm using. Does anyone want to ask me what paint I'm using? DIY.
She claims there's a rule that I can't see it.
Yeah. So whenever I start to paint, as soon as I start to like get into a project here, then everybody gets really, really quiet.
Judy DIY, so have another one.
I'm gonna wet my brush a little bit and blend it right here by his hat. It just touched his hat a little bit. I'm gonna blend that in just a touch. And then I need a little bit more white. And a bit more white over here. All right, here, Judy.
Now Lori Henderson says we are into DIY.
You're into the DIY. Look at how he's looking so vintage already, guys. Okay, more weathered wood because we need to do some arms. These are the items you got at the bins. No, whoops, this is Little Black Dress. Someone else had gotten that vintage hat boxes at the bins, and I was so amazed with them, so impressed with them that I'm making my own. I'm making my own vintage hat boxes with Roycycled Paper. And then I decided to put a snowman on it just because that's who I am. So I'm using weathered wood and we're gonna make his arms because his arms go behind his scarf. So that's why I'm doing his arm first. And I'm gonna give him like a stick arm.
Amanda says, I just love watching the process.
Thank you, Amanda.
You read the other one, right? These are the items you got at the bin?
Yeah. I don't know why I can see some tonight.
That was Ann.
That was Ann? Yeah, I can see some of them tonight. All right, there is a stick, but now I'm going to highlight the stick using a little white swan. The stick is dark on the bottom, light on the top. Okay, now we're gonna go to the other one. And this one, same thing. Oops, got a drip of water on my brush. For the sticks, you just have to do some irregular type lines. And then white on the top, dark on the bottom. There's his stick arms.
Ann says, I'm the one that came up to you ladies when you were all at the bins. It was fun seeing you all there. You sure we're having fun.
Oh, Anne, that is so great. Yes, someone came up to us and said, I bet you're here for Sal's retreat. So yes, that was us. I did not get this at the bins, but there was a gal that did get a hat box at the bins, and I'm making my version of the hat box. Okay, his carrot nose. So the carrot nose is, hopefully a vintage snowman has the same kind of carrot nose. So everybody at the retreat, I told them, every painting I do, there's a C in it. Here's my C. The nose starts out with a C, a backwards C. And then it just comes up and makes a carrot. I am going to add some marquee to that. So it makes it a little darker.
Shelly says, so cool. I've been painting churches today since you taught us.
Aw, Shelly, that's so sweet. They really sell like crazy. I don't know if you have a booth or a store, but churches sell like crazy. I can paint 500 churches on ornaments and sell every single one of them. Okay, I gotta wait for that to dry a little bit, so I'm gonna get some little black dress. And he needs some eyeballs. I always try and make sure that his eyes are about the same size. And then they're on each. Do you have a video on how you make the churches? If only I could paint a church. You know what? One of my goals was to do an online course that you could purchase to paint a church. So hang tight. It's coming.
Sheila said if only I could paint a church.
You can. Just ask the girls who were at the retreat. They didn't think they could paint a church either, and I showed them how. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to give the snowman little red cheeks. But I have to do that before I paint my mouth. So I'm going in with making powder and date night. And I put a little bit on my brush and I put it on my plate and I take most of it off. And then I'm going to, it's like putting blush on. The only thing is when I seal this, that's not gonna seal in very well. You have to be extremely careful with that because when you put the sealer on, you're gonna smear it. Okay, now we're gonna put his mouth on. Try it. Connie makes the steps so easy. You can do it.
Yeah, this one girl.
Yeah. Online courses are great at all of your art. It deserves to get paid for your talents. Aw, thank you. Yeah, it won't be much. It'll be a very inexpensive course. And it'll be quick and fast because it only took an hour at Sonnet's retreat.
Lori Henderson, could you mix it with DIY patina before applying?
Liquid patina, DIY, Lori. You could, but it won't be dry. It won't be powder. Like if you put your blush on, when you're putting it on your face, it's powder form. DIY. It's only a very small amount, so you'll be fine with it. You just got to be careful when you're doing the liquid, the big top or the wax over top of that. And now we're going to put some buttons on him. So we're doing all of this stuff before we do his scarf. I should have maybe gave him brown buttons to match his hat. I didn't think of that. All right. So his buttons, I don't want them to be flat. So I'm giving them a little bit of white highlight. On the same side, and his eyes, on the same side of where my highlights are coming from, right?
Lori Henderson, I like big buttons and I cannot lie.
Yes, girl.
That deserves a DIY.
Yeah.
Even from Wilson.
All right, I had a little bit of little black dress in my brush, and we're gonna go back over the nose. I put it into the orange and red mixture, and we're gonna go over the nose. Still an orange, but it's a very, very deep orange. And then I'm going to wipe that off and just go into Summer Crush all by its lonesome and make a little bit of highlight on the top, leaving that dark on the bottom. And then White is your friend. So that it looks round. Okay, guys, we are to the point where he needs a scarf and he needs a ribbon on his hat. I feel like marquee to match the stripes would be the best. So that's what we're gonna do.
What are you doing?
He needs a scarf and a brim on his hat. Right?
Bobby, oh, I love his DIY.
Yeah, he is. You know what? I need to go buy all those 48-cent popcorn tins.
Oh, great. Now we need more tins.
I need more popcorn tins. Okay, going in with marquee. All right, I mixed it up. Angled brush. I gotta turn him. This, I put paint on my angled brush.
That looks like a lot of paint.
Oh, Wilson, you are needy today. And so my...
Everybody says Wilson's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, he's so hilarious. Don't encourage him. Okay, so we're gonna go with this angled brush and we're gonna lay it right down on the side of his neck and go right across. Didn't have enough paint on my brush, Wilson.
That's why I'm moving to Ohio.
Yeah.
I got job offers in Ohio.
Okay. So I just did one swipe across his neck, but I want to make sure that I get all the way across his neck, and then I'm going to make a bubble over there. And then I'm going to make a bubble over here.
Sheila says, yes, dump the popcorn into something else. I wonder if Dollar Store has popcorn tins.
Doesn't your thrift store have popcorn tins? Ours are full of them. Okay. Then we're gonna make this tail. And actually, hang on.
Bobby says the only requirement for Wilson to be an employee in Ohio is to be an Ohio State fan.
He doesn't like sports, so he'll do anything you want. He doesn't have a Wisconsin State fan based. Okay, I've added a little bit of beadboard.
I just go with the flow.
So I added a little bit of shadow over there. It's not enough for me. I want more. Okay. I gotta put them this way. Okay, see how that flows with him? It's dark over here, light over here. DIY, guys. This is a process. Okay, going back in with my marquee. I need a little squirt of water. My marquee is a little thick. It's from last year, Christmas time. And then the tail of his scarf is gonna come over the top. I'm gonna turn you around. And make a bubble there. See how that looks like it's coming over the top? And then we're gonna do a second tail. And this one's going to be underneath and it's just gonna flow this way. Now, these two look like they're competing to which one's on top. We're gonna fix that. This one's on top. So I'm gonna take the white and I'm gonna lay it on here and go over this one. And it now became on top, right? I knew you'd all agree with me. And then we're gonna put the band on here. My bands always match my scarves. I don't know if they're supposed to, but they do. The band on his hat. And it has to have a little
Bobby says DIY.
beadboard on it.
Nope.
Hang on, Bobby.
I take it she's too busy. Can I have one, Bobby?
All right. Look at him. How cute is he? You know what? I could add so much more to him, but we're going to stop right there because he's probably been... Oh, no, we're not. I lied.
What? It's been an hour.
We're gonna put some snow on it. DIY, Bobby. Wilson needs to make me one more drink.
Oh, boy.
And I gotta add some snow. Oh, boy, he says.
Sheila
He
says-
really missed me, guys. He
Sheila says
did.
he's adorable.
He wanted me to come home. I gotta find the right paintbrush. I'm so picky about my paintbrushes.
Sheila says he's adorable. Bobby says, look, Wilson, he's even scarlet and gray.
Okay.
Carol says he's so cute.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys.
Lori Henderson, DIY Wilson. Oh, thank you, Lori. Shelly says, so adorable.
Thank you. Okay, I just have some plain old beadboard. And I'm going to put some snow on his hat. If you haven't ever seen snow, and it was crazy to hear that people haven't seen snow. So when I painted a church at Sonnet's retreat, I didn't do a church with snow on it because some people have never seen snow. So they don't really know what snow looks like. They don't know what it does. It can be very pretty. So this is where, when you seal it, you would put the diamond dust, if you wanted. And then I always put some snow on the sticks, on his stick arms. You gotta pile it kind of high so that it's known that it's snow.
Lisa, I love him. Judy wants to know where were they from?
Georgia.
And I agree with Bobby. I'd rather have snow than those horrible hurricanes. Yes, I feel sorry for them people, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby,
That is not good.
no. And then we're gonna do a little snow on his, well, I'm not gonna put it on his nose because it's gonna blend right into his face. I am gonna give him some little catch lights in his eyes to give him a little sparkle. Do you put the diamond dust in the paint? No, I do not. I use the diamond dust in the, like if I put a clear coat on him, then I would use the diamond dust in the clear coat. Not in the clear coat. I put the clear coat on the entire thing. I'd let it dry, and then I would just add the, by clear coat, I mean the DIY big top, right? So I'd put the big top on, let it dry, and then I'd put big top just on the snow, and then I'd put the diamond dust on there, and then it would just stick to where the snow is. All right, so I did have more plans for him. It is heartbreaking, Bobby. You are so correct. Okay. We go from this to this. Look at that. Isn't he just sweet? And then you can put a tree in it. So there it is with a tree in it. Or you can just have the tiki or the snowman. Sorry.
Lisa wants to know if you put the diamond dust in the paint.
Yep, we talked about that.
Oh. Lori Anderson, totally cuteness. DIY.
It is cute.
Judy, love it.
So, I'm not done.
Sheila says stinking cute.
Thank you.
Beverly says so cute.
Thank you. All right, so I'm not done. The vintage hat boxes that were at the bins were like,
Corinne,
they were,
they love the tree in it.
thank you, Corinne. They were dirty and gross and dripping with grunge. So that is my thought, is I want this to be dirty since I made a vintage snowman. He's pretty vintage. Since I made a vintage snowman, I want him to be grungy and dirty, and I want this can to be grungy and dirty. So I'm not done, but I will post a picture when it is done.
Bobby says gorgeous.
Thank you, Bobby.
Carl Long, so adorable.
Thank you, thank you. So yeah, he's pretty cute. I love it. So I had this idea in my head since Sandra found those vintage hat boxes at the bins. And I thought, I can do this. I even videoed it and said, we can do this. We can make our own vintage hat boxes, and we can put the Roycycled red ticking paper, which is on my website at thepaintedphotographer.com. And there was another one that was floral and vintage wallpaper. And there's another one. It's vintage wallpaper and vintage wallpaper. Or wallpaper. There's vintage wallpaper and then there's wallpaper. And this is red ticking. And there's also a new one that Royce came out with, and that is 2 different colors of ticking. One gray and one, I don't know what the other one is. But those would be fantastic. So this is just adorable. It was 38 cents. 38 cents. Don't worry, I'll take those off. And I just spray painted it and then put the paper on it and then painted the snowman on it. But even just the paper. So I'm gonna make a lot of these and I'm gonna put them in the store that I sell my items at, and we're gonna see how well they go. Even, Wilson, tell me, can you do this? Can you put 2 holes in here and then make a handle?
I don't know, it'd be kind of hard.
Like that one right down there. Can you get that one down there, Wilson?
Here.
Right there.
Well, I can't get all fancy up like
No,
that.
you can't get it all fancy it up like this, but this one I did find at the bins. Nope, I found this at Goodwill. Look at this bell. But he needs to put a handle on it, right? So there could be a handle on that snowman one. This one is just got some trees on it, or holly on it. I probably won't keep it like this. Wilson, you can do it. A little DIY for you, Wilson.
Oh, I can't get all fancy like this.
You don't have to get all fancy like that. You just need to drill a hole and put a wire in it.
Yeah. We'll see, I'm pretty busy.
He's pretty busy.
I'm thinking of moving to Ohio.
He's packing his bags to come to Ohio.
I got good offers in Ohio.
Handle made from rusty wire. Right, Carla. I need to go find some rusty wire.
Where do you see that?
It's coming.
Oh, you're way ahead of me. I see Wilson can do it DIY.
Okay. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. We didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to talk about the retreat. It was amazing. I was exhausted. The experience that I got and the people that I met, I got something in my eye. The people that I got to meet there was incredible. And anyone who came up to me and said that they see me and asked me if I really do have whiskey in my cup, those are the people that I seriously have a hair in my eye. Those are the people that watch me all the time and they're just curious. So I really enjoy being on here on Wednesday nights and talking to you all. And I wish I had more time to do YouTubes soon.
Sheila
Soon,
wants
guys.
to know how you're back.
My back is doing better.
Judy says, thanks, Connie and Wilson, DIY.
Thank you, Judy. My back is doing much better, thank goodness. So my chiropractor let me loose. So that is a good thing.
Claudia.
He turned me loose. Of course, I painted a pumpkin for his receptionist, which happens to be his wife. I painted a pumpkin painting for her, and I said, I'll give this to you if he turns me loose. And he said I had to come one more time, and I told her, I said, give me that painting back. All right, so there's the vintage snowman on the popcorn tin. It turned out fabulous.
Claudia says, wow, how exciting. I'm for sure going next year.
Uh-huh.
Cindy says, wonderful project. I'm currently working on a kit with your witches, Connie lines, race paper from Sonnets.
Yeah, that was an incredible paper. But those witches, it's called Witching Hour. Those witches, if you got the Sonnets Maker's Box for October, there was a paper in there with, I think I can show it because everybody else has been showing it. It's in my Maker's Box.
Judy says, I'm so happy you had a good time.
I did.
I love retreats.
I didn't know that I did. Okay. So Here is Witching Hour. I should probably take it out of there because you can't see it very well.
Mrs. Love says beautiful, thank you.
Thank you. I hope those grandkids aren't making you too crazy. So here's Witching Hour. Look at that paper. That is painted by me. And then the other one was a crow on a pumpkin. He's cute too. If you don't already get the Sonnets Makers box, she has sign up again in February. It's full of all kinds of stuff. And those papers are limited, so you have to have the Makers box to get the papers. And they're worth it. They're so good.
Judy says, oh, cool. Sheila says, oh, amazing. Cindy says, love both of them.
Thank you.
Sheila says, so cute. Claudia, yes. How exciting.
I know. It is exciting. It is exciting. I enjoy doing it, and Novembers are even better. Not going to tell you what they are, but they're even better.
Bobby wants to know how much the maker boxes are.
You know what, Bobby? I don't know. I can send a link to the waiting list, and I think the price is in there, but you can also get on the waiting list. It doesn't mean you have to purchase it. You can just get on the waiting list for when she reopens it back up again. So, Amanda, who was on here earlier, said, Connie, do you know that 400 plus women screamed as soon as they seen the papers in that Maker's box? And she was talking about the Witching Hour. That was a fun thing to hear, because the Witching Hour was good, and Novembers are even better. And Decembers, I'm still working on them, but I'm sure they'll be fantastic. Okay, I gotta scoop. I gotta clean some stuff up, and Wilson and I did some packaging before we went live. Thank goodness. But if you want any of the products, if you want any DIY products, or IOD, I'm only sold out of 2 of the products for the new IOD release. I'm sold out of Yuletide, and I'm sold out of the tinsel foil transfer. However, the other 2 transfers I'm not sold out of, and they are amazing. Kitschy is my favorite. And then I have all kinds of molds and stamps. So head on over to the website, get yourself some of those IOD products for the holidays, because they are limited. As soon as they're gone, they are gone. So go grab them on thepaintedphotographer.com. And until next time, happy painting.